Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Kenzo here. I hope you're all having a nice day. Today I bring you another drawing process video. Continuing with the NewJeans drawing series, this time I made a portrait of Haerin, whom I consider the main dancer of NewJeans. She has a stunning and very distinctive gaze that I hope I've been able to capture that in my drawing. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, first let's dive into the process of drawing Haerin's face. I began drawing her eyes using the measurements that I took earlier. Then I tried to add her ears and fringe. After that, it's turn of drawing the nose, mouth, and the contour of her face. Now let's dive into the process of drawing Haerin's hair. I added the shape of the hair using the measurements that I mentioned before as well. And then I added a volume and realism by doing some strokes. These strokes were important since I used them as a guide for the rest of the drawing. Now it's turn of drawing the ribbon that Haerin has in her hair, according to the reference images. I used a different type of strokes for coloring the ribbon to help people differentiate the ribbon from the rest of the hair. Then, let's continue with the process of drawing the hair. This time, I was adding the hair length. At the bottom of her hair, she had a lot of waves. I did my best to add all of them using shadows and highlights. Finishing drawing the hair, I was able to draw the rest of the body, like the shoulders, for example, and the dress. The dress that Haerin had in the reference images was white, with some unpredictable decorations. I made a simplified version of that dress. Oh, here I was struggling with the left shoulder. I finished it at the end though. I added some shadows behind the shoulders to define it and separate them from the background. Now it's time to add the final details of the portrait. I added some shadows in the neck and I gave more volume to the hair. I highlighted all the lights and shadows to make it look more realistic. I feel satisfied with how the drawing is turning out. It's looking wonderful, isn't it? Well, the final details are done. This is the final result of the drawing. Check it out. Alright everyone, that wraps up the process of creating this artwork. And again, if you want to look at the full image, remember that you can find it posted on my Instagram, Twitter, and Weverse. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to give me a like, it really helps out Of course, if you haven't already and you want to watch more music and drawing videos, consider subscribing to my channel and following on my socials. See you in the next one. Bye.